welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you my recipe for polpettes. What are polpettes? They're meatballs. I had a viewer ask me to make my meatball recipe, and I have to be honest, I do it 3 different ways. But today I'm going to make it the most traditional way. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to make Sunday sauce as well. So homemade tomato sauce. And that I too make different, only because I want to make it different. But I'm going to show you another recipe today for my tomato sauce. So first for the meatballs, let's go. I've got 2 eggs here. I already beat them together in a separate bowl. Okay? So that's less handling when you got your meat in your bowl. I've got minced garlic. Actually, it's even more minced than that because I added salt to my minced garlic and I mashed it out a little bit. So it's kind of between a mince and a paste, but I did add a ½ teaspoon of salt to my minced garlic, mash it together. That's what I like to do because I'm going to add this to my meatballs. As much as I love garlic, I don't want to bite into a piece of garlic in my meatballs. So I've got freshly chopped parsley. I've got this is shredded onions. I love the onion flavor, but I actually shred the onion. I'll grab half an onion or something, or a little whole onion, cut one end off, get my box grater, grate it, right? And then all that juice, and then you get all that onion flavor. So that juice is going to provide you moisture as well for your meatballs. So I recommend doing that. So if you want the onion flavor and you want the moisture content, go ahead and grate your onion on your box grater. Anyways, that's what I do. That's why my meatballs are delicious. Okay, I've got regular breadcrumbs here. Sometimes I do panko, sometimes I do white bread in milk, and you squeeze out the milk out of the bread. But today I'm doing a very traditional meatball recipe. Okay, so I've got my breadcrumbs, which already has dried parsley in there. And I've got my pecorino. No, not today. I'm using Parmesan cheese. I have my Parmesan cheese here, and then salt if I need it, but we'll see as we go. So I've got 1 pound of each. My ground pork, you get rid of that, and then the ground beef. Okay, the beef is 85-15 today, so I change it up. Okay, let's go like so in my little garbage area. I couldn't wait to make them. I haven't made meatballs in a while. Sorry for the noise, guys. My pork. Okay, there we go. I want to go ahead and add all my ingredients. So I'm adding my freshly chopped parsley, okay, and my beautiful garlic. I think there's 3 garlic cloves here, depending on the size of your garlic, right? Okay. Oh, I lost some on my table. It's okay, my table's nice and clean. Preparing to do a video, you know, you got to make sure everything is nice and clean, or I just wouldn't be comfortable. Okay, my onions, nice and juicy, those onions. I'm gonna add my breadcrumbs, and all over it goes. And my Parmesan cheese. I'm making a mess, guys, sorry. So sorry. It's gotta be done. Okay, now you can add your liquid and your ingredients on the bottom first and mix it together, and then there's less handling of your meat. If you overwork your meat, what happens is the meatballs get tough. But I'm not going to overwork my meat, not to worry. I'm not frying my meatballs. I'm going to bake it. You know, I might have mentioned once or twice before, it's so easy to cook, right? With tons of fat, tons of butter, tons of cheese, tons of dairy. But I'm not trying to do that. I'm going to cut calories wherever I can and make it the healthiest version that I think I can do. So that's why I do it the way I do. I bake it instead of frying. Does the meatballs, when you fry it on the stovetop, taste better in the extra virgin olive oil? Of course. A smidgen better. But you're not compromising all that much flavor to have it baked in the oven, okay? And I'll show you, because I'm going to rub a little olive oil on there. All right. Okay, so let's see the size of meatballs I want to make. Okay, nice. This should get me quite a few meatballs. Let's see how uniform I can get my meatballs. These are on the bigger side. Again, I think with these meatballs, I'm not going to serve them with pasta. I'm just going to serve it in tomato sauce and crusty Italian bread with a little drizzle of olive oil and garlic rubbed all over it. These are nice and big. I just realized I did have salt in my garlic, but that was like maybe just a ½ teaspoon of salt. grind it into the garlic. So that's just not enough. And I forgot my freshly ground pepper. This is very important. So, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add some salt here. Not that much. And my fresh pepper, I apologize. I get so excited when I start these videos with you guys, for you guys, with you guys, for me. All right, and work that in. I will salt and pepper those individually just to make sure that they got the right seasonings. But you want it, seasoning is very important. You know, if you put too much salt, you'll ruin a dish. If you don't put enough, it's bland. So, I just wanted to come back and share that with you, okay guys? I forgot to add my salt and pepper, so I'm adding it now. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and show you my meatballs before I put them in the oven. And the first 4 that I missed, salt and pepper on that, okay? So I just added the salt and pepper there, and I realized I had forgotten the salt and pepper in the original mix, so I added the salt and pepper to the rest of the meatballs. Now what I like to do, just a titch, just a smidgen on each meatball. I want that flavor, right? You know, like when you're frying it, stovetop, so just a smidgen, but you're not frying it in the oil, but you're getting the flavor of the extra virgin olive oil. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna throw it in the oven, and then I'm gonna be back, and we're gonna work on the Sunday sauce, okay? I'm gonna be quick. Okay. These are all my little tricks. You know, like the grated onion, it's so nice and liquidy. The mashed garlic with the salt, the little sprinkle of extra virgin olive oil on top. These are the little, you know, spins and little twists that I put on your traditional meatball recipe. Okay, so in the oven it goes. Middle rack, okay, so we'll leave that alone. And now let's start working on the tomato sauce. Okay, so here we go, my induction cooktop. It's heating up real quick. So the ingredients, I have 1 can of crushed plum tomatoes. Normally I will do just 2 cans of beautiful tomato puree, but today I did it a little bit different. Again, I change things up all the time. Keep you on your toes. I have many ways of doing sauce, so you'll see me do another sauce recipe, I'm sure, in the future. But, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my crushed tomatoes in here. I added a little water, you know, when I rinsed out the can, okay? So you rinse out the can, save that little bit of juice, get that. My tomato puree, pour it over here so I don't get splattered. You know what, I should get my spatula. Don't want to waste anything. You hear me say it all the time. Okay. Get this out of here, get this out of here. My muffin, my little dish towel. Okay, secret ingredient, secret ingredient. I think I've shared it already with you guys. My red wine. This is good table wine, good drinking wine. Always, whenever you're cooking with wine, make sure it's a nice and drinkable wine, okay? I will post the ingredients and the portions in the description box below, okay? I'm going to throw some fresh parsley in there. I've got a little bit of my oregano. And I have to tell you, I was very disappointed if I had it. I could have sworn I had the basil in the yard, but anyhow. So, okay, so that's that. Let me add a pinch of salt. I checked the sodium, the can for sodium. Always taste your tomatoes. Whenever you're buying different tomatoes, taste your tomatoes so you know what it tastes like. So you know if you need to add a little bit of sweetness, if you need to add a little bit of salt. Typically you have to add a little bit of salt. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper, red wine. Guess what I'm gonna put in now? You're not gonna guess. All right, another pinch, let me see. All right, my spoon, let's get it stirring. Okay. I tasted my tomatoes earlier, and what I put in here is a little bit of honey. I wanted to counterbalance that, the tartness of the tomatoes, the rawness of the tomatoes, and the acidity, the acid in the tomatoes with a little bit of sweetness, but not regular white sugar, honey. That's what I do. If the tomatoes aren't sweet enough, okay? All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and let this cook down for a while. Let's let it cook together, and then when the meatballs are ready, we're going to put the meatballs in the sauce, and then the meat juices from the meatballs will incorporate into the sauce, and it'll totally change the flavor of this tomato sauce. It'll just make it that much more delicious. So that's all there is to do for now. Again, if I had basil, I would have thrown some basil in there. Salt, pepper, basil, red wine, black pepper. Always. There we go. I gotta do that and catch and then measure it and see. Again, so many years cooking without measuring cups and spoons and all that jazz. But it's important if I'm gonna, if I want you to make my recipes, and if you want to make my recipes to get it exactly the same flavor as mine, these little details matter. Okay guys, I'll see you in a little while, okay? Okay, I just wanted to show you that I took the meatballs halfway out and I flipped them over, okay? But let me go ahead and crack into one now. I'm gonna put it back in the oven. I wanna see how far along it is. I know they're good, just like this. And they are. This is why we steal my mother's meatballs on Sunday. They're ready to go in the sauce right now. But I'm gonna throw them back in the oven for a few more minutes to get a little more caramelization, the nice toasty brown on the other side, and then it's gonna go in the tomato sauce. And I'm gonna go ahead and let it seep in the tomato sauce and let it cook, incorporate for a good hour at least, okay? So the juices of the meat will incorporate into that beautiful tomato sauce and make it luscious. See you again. Yum. Okay guys, so here is the finished product, my Sunday sauce with my homemade meatballs and my garlic toast here that I just put a little bit of fresh garlic. Once it was toasted, I scraped fresh garlic over my toast, okay, my Italian bread here. And then I sprinkled a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, and this is how I'm going to eat my meatballs. But of course, if you want to make pasta, by all means, make pasta. But I'm not going to do that. So let me go ahead and get the meatballs in a plate and cut one open for you. There we go. All right, I'm going to cut it open. Look. Let me see what it looks like from the camera. Let's switch it around, actually. Okay, so see, look how beautiful, moist those meatballs look, right? Yum. I just wanted you to be able to see that. Let's see if I get a close-up of that meatball. Is that a little better? Okay, there we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and move my camera and continue. Okay. All right, after the hard work of making the meatballs and sauce, okay, not hard work at all, but I'm actually gonna sit down and enjoy this. Look at my meatball. Look, can you see it? I showed you the close-up earlier, but let me go ahead and try it with my beautiful bread. But first, the meatball. Grab that sauce. Yum. Buon appetito. Oh, do I want to put that all in my mouth? Or maybe not. Wow. Yum. Oh my goodness. Delicious, guys. The crunchy, crunchy bread. Like so. Oh, one more close-up just to tease you with. One piece of bread missing. Look at that. Beautiful toasted garlic bread, right? A little extra virgin olive oil sprinkled over it. And my delicious meatballs. 3 is plenty per person. Okay, you guys, till next time, bye-bye. You know, I thought that I should probably cut a meatball open so you could see what the inside looks like. there's the meatball. Okay, just wanted to get a nice close-up of inside the meatball. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again.